All right. This is Module 6, Lesson 8, Concept Development. Now, in your packet, Mrs. King and all her problems, you have a page behind what we were just working on. So I want you to turn to that page really quick, and you're going to create coordinate pairs from the rules I write down. So I'm going to write down a rule, and I want you to figure out what the points would be for this rule. Y is equal to X. Okay, I've written down the title, Rules that Describe the Relationship Between X and Y. That is the big idea for today. You are given a rule, and now you're going to find the coordinate pairs that go with that rule. So let's start with Y is equal to X. If Y is equal to X, let's say that Y is 0. So then what is X? 0. Okay, so if Y is equal to X and Y is 0, then X is 0. If Y is 1, X is 1. If Y is 2, X is 2, and so on. And what did we learn before about that type of line? It increases by 1, right? All right, so Y is 1 more than X. So if Y is 1 more than X, so let's say that Y is 1, then what is X? It's 0. If Y is 2, what is X? If Y is 3, what is X? And so on. So Y is 5 times X. Let's see if you can do that one by yourself. All right, so were you able to pick something and multiply by 5, or pick 5 and divide by 5 and you get 1? 10 divided by 5 is 2. Or 1 times 5 is 5, 2 times 5 is 10, 3 times 5 is 15, 4 times 5 is 20. Now, Y is 1 more than 3 times X. So if Y is 1 more than 3 times X, what would that look like? Y is 1 more than 3 times X. What could that look like? Try it out. Okay, so how did you do? Were you able to complete Y is 1 more than 3 times X? Y is 1 more than 3 times X. So let's just start with 1. And Y has to be 3 times plus 1 more. So 3 times plus 1 more would be 4. What would 2 be? 2 would be 3 times plus 1, 7. 3. 3 times 3 plus 1 is 10. So Y is 1 more than 3 times 10. So the rule is Y is 3 times X plus 1. So the rule here would be Y is 3 times X plus 1. All right. Now let's go back really quick here. And I just thought this would be interesting for you to analyze this. Y is 1 more than X, so it's 0.1 plus 1. Could you keep this pattern going like 2 more times? And then if this one, Y is 1 more than X, so if it's 10 and a half, it's 11 and a half. It's 11 and a half, it's 12 and a half, right? Could you keep this going? I want you to complete this. And then this one right here, Y is 5 times X. So Y is 5 times X. So 0.3 times 5 is 1.5. Could you keep this going? 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, and then figure the x and y coordinates out. Our final one here is y is 1 less than 2 times x. So y is 1 less than 2 times x. Seems like that, I know that sounds tricky, but it really isn't. Y is 1 less than 2 times x. So y is equal to 2 times x minus 1. 2 times x minus 1. All right, let's see if you can choose I wouldn't start with 0 on this one, but why don't you start with 1 and see what you get for your number pattern. So here is the pattern that I generated. Did you generate a similar pattern or coordinates, coordinate pairs? All right, make sure you go back and see if you can finish these up. And now we're moving on. We're moving back to this template right here. So of course, what are you going to do first? Label the x and y axis. Always label your origin. All right, so now our big idea is to continue doing with what we just got done doing, but I have given you 3 rules for line A. So you're going to come up with the x and y coordinates and the coordinate pair. You're going to graph the line and connect the dots. Then line B, you're going to come up with the x and y coordinate and the coordinate pair, graph it, connect the lines, label it B. Then y is 1 more than x doubled. That's going to be, you're going to come up with the x and y coordinate and the coordinate pair, graph it, and label that C. So that's what you're going to do right now. You're going to come back and check to see how you did. All right, I just want to check in with you and see how you're doing on coming up with your coordinates. So y is 2 more than x. So if y is 2 more than x, y is 2 more than x, y is 2 more than x. And these points are just arbitrary. I just chose points so that it wouldn't be this big. I try to like extend it down a little bit larger as I went along. So y is 2 times x. So y is 2 times x. Well, 0 times 2 is always 0. Then y is 2 times x. So 4 times 2 is 8. 6 times 2 is 12. I just picked any numbers. I'm trying to bring my line along across longer. And y is 1 more than x doubled. So if you double x plus 1 more. So if I start at 0 and I double it and then I add 1, it's 0, 1. Double 3, it's 6 plus 1 is 7. Double 6 is 12 plus 1 is 13. So that's what I came up with. Now, your numbers probably are going to vary depending on how you did, but hopefully you were able to figure out the coordinates based on the rule. You were able to come up with the coordinates. That's the big idea here. Now, it's time to graph or plot these points and connect them with a line and label it. All right, check out my lines and compare them to yours. Now, it doesn't actually matter if our coordinate pairs are exactly the same. Our lines are increasing. It's following a rule, and the rule is going to happen no matter what, regardless of the points you actually chose to be on that line. The rule follows itself. Think about that for just a second. Now, do these points intersect at any spot in particular? Well, it looks like they share 1 and 3. Well, 1 and 3 is times 2, right? No, it's doubled. Is 2 more than x? Is 2 more, it's just add 2. So 1 and 3 plus 2. Let's see. Is there any other point? Maybe 2 and 4? 2 and 4, y is 2 times x. They would connect right here. And that would be the only two places that they intersect. All right. So what you are going to do from here is you have your problem set, create a table of 3 values for x, y, and your coordinate pair, plot the points, use a ruler or a straight edge to connect them, give 2 more points, the same thing on the back. On 3, you're going to create a table, and this is your rule right here, 1 more than 3 times. You're going to plot the points, you're going to connect the line with a straight edge, and then you are going to plot 2 more points that would be on that line. For 4, use the coordinate planes just like we were doing earlier. Go back to the video if you need help. Graph the lines on the plane. So you have to, x is equal to y. Fill that in. Y is 1 more than x. Fill that in. Y is 1 more than twice x. Fill that in. Plot those lines. Which 2 lines intersect? Give the coordinates of that intersection. Which 2 lines are parallel, and then give the rule for another line that would be parallel to the lines you listed. So something that would be parallel. Remember, parallel lines never intersect. Then you have your exit ticket and you have your homework. That'll do it for now.